Hello, this is Gabe from GabeSGoneGaming. The last video was cut short from me starting to fall asleep while I was playing. So, we are resuming wherever it is that we left off. I believe we made it to what it says on the screen. Dormond Island, I believe is how you say it. So, let's see. If I remember right, there was 4 watchtowers. Yep, 4 watchtowers. We're going to try to get each one of those, plus the upgrades. If I see any broken bridges, we will tackle them. I think I mentioned this last episode, but there's one somewhere like right here, and I think over here? Honestly, I don't remember. I do know there is one that leads over to this dockyard here that needs to be addressed. But that one's a multi-part mission. Different than those just deliver wood planks. So, and if I remember right, the P16 is also on this map, so we're going to add that to our list of objectives to try to get done. Again, in case anyone's wondering, I am not accepting jobs unless if I am ready to actually accept and get them done. That is mainly due to the whole, if everything's accepted at once, I lose track and I cannot focus and get the, the objective done. Alright, let's just check. I think this one I have to do a water crossing. There might be a job over there. I'll double check and see. This is on the southern side of the map. That's also on the southern side. So, we want this one first. Then we'll tackle this one. I need to remember to turn my vehicle off. Yes, we are still on the controller, and no, my USB issue has not been resolved yet. It feels super weird with me playing with a controller. There we go. Right, we have to do a water crossing. I did not remember that. Ooh. Shocked we still have not popped a tire yet. I will be super happy once we don't have to do any more road clearing or bridge building. Because then we can actually focus on the main missions. We'll just stay on low plus for now. I can turn that off. SnowRunner is not built for speed. Owie. Yep, that's the bridge we have to build, so... Ow. Okay, the suspension is now officially broken. There are some vehicles I will not fix it. The wind steer happens to be one of those. But only after I get the suspension upgrade. Okay, looks like... Alright, it looks like we have a water crossing. I am not prepared to get that. There's a trail here. Let's go around, and we're going to try to get that upgrade. So basically, this way, head this way. We'll cut our way this way, then head down to grab that. So, we're going to find out right now if this is one of those vehicles that I will not be fixing the suspension on. Honestly, I don't know. Now, yes, it does mean the frame is dragging. But it also means any parts where your tire would be up in the air, it actually goes down lower. Personal opinion. So this would be a spot where you don't want it to be so far down low, but then again, it was muddy. I do have the parts on hand to fix this if I need to. And if I run out of repair parts, I can either go back to the resupply zone and get more, which I actually don't think I've been there yet. It's just on my map. Okay, we are running out of gas, so there's that. I'm gonna go a little longer and see. Ooh. Nope. And all right, we'll see if it drives now. Yes, it does. So that basically confirms that this vehicle does require a proper suspension to be usable. So normally what I would do is I will get the larger tires installed. I will break the suspension. And with the broken suspension, you now have the benefit of... Come on. You now have the benefit of the larger tires, but lower center of gravity. So it might result in clipping on some vehicles, which I believe was the reasoning on why they patched the GMC 9500. Which I didn't know about the patch for. Okay, we go this way, then I think the trail goes this way. Just had that weird sense of deja vu, like I'm supposed to be bringing something else back here. I think right there, actually. You need a larger truck with a crane. But that's the different mission. There we go. So in my USB testing, it looks like if I unplug my microphone, it stops freaking out my sim wheel. Which means I can play. But then I won't be able to talk to any of you. So, that does not work as a viable solution. There we go. Much better with the camera with the mouse than I am with the controller. So water crossing, water crossing. Is it here? Let me just check. Yes, it is here. We have a sign in our engine bay. I think the game just deleted it. Okay. The game did not delete the sign. So, I am sunk down into the ground. So just a reminder, this might be one of those I have to recover moments, but that's 12 grand. I cannot continue scouting with this vehicle like that. So, we are going to... great. Alright. Just because I can, let's just get this done. I was about to say, surprisingly, I took no damage, but no, I took damage from that. Okay. I don't know if leaving the map and returning will despawn stuff. So, let's do Smithville. That's broke. Fleet Star is right there. It needs to go back anyway. Okay. That's the Fleet Star. What we do know is we need planks up there. And considering what just happened, we probably need to get a few other things done too. Let's see. Metal beams to Black River. Oil rig drill to Black River. And the construction rig semi-trailer to Black River. That's 7,450. Okay. Let's activate that. We're gonna go take a look at that. Before I go, though, I am also going to check and confirm if, or I'm thinking to pick up the drill bit is what I think it is. That one? Yes, it is that one. And this truck does not have very good lights on it. Ow. Alright, I'm gonna check something out. Scout that. Storage. This is the GMC. Okay, have not unlocked that yet. We want you. No. Stock is fine. There it is. That's what we're looking for. And sell you. Spare wheel is at rank 10. Snorkel. Yep, let's get that. Oops. I really wish they would go through and put the roof racks on all of the early game trucks. And by early game, I mean like all of the trucks that do not have roof racks on them for base game. Let's see. Okay, that's about all I can do. I might need this one. Thanks to that, I should do this. Yeah. Expensive, I know, but this might be my best bet at getting that trailer moved, if it's the one I think it is. We will find out in a bit. Okay. I do not have... Yeah, the big one's still locked. Small one's not. I do have the extended, though. So, let us do... Yes, we want this direction. The other option is that truck. I might try the highway truck first. I just thought about that. All right, let me just check. Oil rig drill. 1. Service spare parts, vehicle spare parts, oil rig drill. Okay. That is 5. So, that answers that question. I do have a trailer that has the ability to haul 5. It's just that I'd like to get the cargo off it first. It's not too hard to do. Alright. We're gonna use the Fleet Star to get that, stuff done. And then we're gonna try that highway truck on... moving that drill bit. Alright, here we are. There's that trailer with some free resources on it. I'll have to do this run twice. Break those down. One time I experimented about crossing here, but I don't remember my results on that. Well, either way, we're not doing that today. I already had one truck get stuck because it glitched into the earth. So. Ugh. I am shocked I did not roll on that. I keep doing that. Yeah, right around here, if I remember right, it's shallow enough to cross, but I don't remember what I used to cross. I might have to do some experimentation later, because I really want to know. Sadly, it will be completely irrelevant, basically after this mission. Now, if I remember right, this needs to leave. So let's just pull that out while we're here. Alright, that can stay there for a bit. That is the second one. Last time I used diff lock, let's see if all-wheel drive does a similar result in letting it get up this. Looks like a yes. Alright, let's get the Fleet Star out of here. I could make a quick buck, which would count towards our mission objectives as well. I think I'm going to park it next to one of them? Do I not have that yet? Let's see. Food delivery. Yes, I do have that unlocked. So what usually ends up happening with me is once I am done with Michigan, I will leave the Fleet Star within the region and start alternating between different challenges or task-based jobs that just reoccur. The repeating ones, basically. Ooh. Reverse. My tire is not on that. There we go. I just remembered this trailer's down here. Remember, right, this one is a mission trailer. But sadly, I don't get to keep it. But it would supply a bit of fuel, because if I remember right, it's either 10% or 25%, something like that has to be in there. for you to make the mission-based delivery. So, we're going to pull this out while we're heading towards that farm. I might leave it at the gas station if it's this combination here. Come on. I am trying to shift into high when I don't have high. I'm also trying to stop myself from going into low because I only have the single low gear. I think this trailer was for that mission. I don't fully remember. Either way, I am leaving it. We need global. Smithville. We're using this one. Alright. Low saddle check. Lights that actually work in the game. Actually, ow. That heavy saddle trailer. Should have checked the trailer store first. I did not. Okay, let's check this out first. No. That takes 5. The step deck is nice because if you have a crane, you can put a vehicle up on top. Fuel, wide. That one's the short. It only holds 3. This one is what I'm thinking of. That's 4. So I'm crossing you off my list. So we'll get back 3,300. This one holds 6. But it has fuel and repair parts, but it needs a high saddle. Awesome. So that is what we'll be doing. And if I remember right, that specialty mission trailer, it's the one I think it is, needs a high saddle. So, let me just check repair, 1,500. That's fine for now. Okay, stick with S. Don't have any extra options. Rank 16 for that, so eventually. Yeah, alright, we have the Jat. chains. On some vehicles, I will exclusively use chain tires. If I know as a fact that I don't plan on going through, like, ultra deep mud. Although it does say mud is good. Let's see. It's off-road. What do I currently have? Okay, I currently have all-terrains. Where does it sound? So that might be what I need. Spare wheel. Need that basically. Low. Need that. After this mission, I'm probably going to end up buying this. I don't plan on taking this through deep water, but we do have water deep enough to justify it because of the river crossings. Specifically for the swamp area, which this should have the power to do it. I just don't know if it has the ground clearance. Let's hold off for now. No, no, no. Alright. We are buying this. That is probably the only trailer I will be buying in this region. And remember, selling trailers back, it comes at a loss. So. Alright. That should be everything I need. I do not remember if this trailer comes with fuel or not. Since I'm talking about it. None. So. Alright. Do not want. We want this. So remember, making a vehicle heavier helps out with traction. That means any of the trailers you pull behind you is basically just dead weight. But anything that uses the high or low saddle will actually be very beneficial. Especially on vehicles that are either only diff lock or all-wheel drive. And in all-wheel drive's case, if the engine doesn't have enough power to spin the tires, it's not going to help beyond the point that it gets axle freeze. If I remember right, though, don't remember the channel name, but somebody did a test and found out that downgrading tires actually helps out with performance, because the tire spinning at least is better than the tire not spinning. Basically, too much grip increases your chance of axle freeze. Alright. can skip. Let's get going. Break that. Normally I would go past my usual spot like I just did with the delivery of those 2 sets of beams. But I'm gonna go the longer way. And that's mainly because it's smoother. Now, yes, I do have to cross that river at the gas station. But the primary dirt road is flatter and less bouncy. At least that's what I'm thinking. I am going to opt to not fill up the gas tank in either the truck or the trailer right now. Pop those. I wish when you finished a region, or at the very least when you finished a job related to road clearing, they would get rid of those. Now, there is no job actually associated with these at this particular stop, but come on. There it goes. But I do know there are some that are. Okay, that goes to tell me I didn't fully think this one through. So we're going to go this way, which then allows me to turn this way. Jackknife. Then we need as far in this direction as possible. Okay. Can I get this? Yes, I did. All right. There we go. That was looking risky for a second. I was starting to slide off the rock. Ow. I should have just went on the road instead of cutting through here. Come on. That tree moved. Let's see here. We did this one to there. That doesn't help. Come on. There we go. Goes to show taking the road is not always the best option. I love how I say road when it's literally just dirt. Alright. Of course. There we go. Get this going. Okay, yes, it is the one I was thinking of. It is up here. So, We're going to try this with a highway truck because I don't really think I have anything else that can do it. So, step one, let's get this trailer out of here. Right now I'm really wishing I had the P16, but who knows? Gotta work with what you have. Alright, we want this. Get you done. That one done. And detach you. That might be in the way later, but we will find out. Ow. Ow. I basically got air there and belly flopped onto that rock. Ow. That is low to the ground. That's probably its biggest issue right there, is I need the raised suspension to properly do this. Come on. There it is. This is doing surprisingly good, considering. Keep hitting that wrong button. So, to speed up the job, you can go this way. But most of that would be covered in mud. It would be easier than getting over this hill, though. The only problem is, with my current truck, I don't think I'm going to get through this. There, 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 or right there. So, I do think I will be able to get over this hill, but I cannot take the road. I have to go either left or right to do so. So, again, comes down to what it is I need done. So, oh, let's just go. Come on. Ow. That is just barely, tall enough. That doesn't help me out any either. Something tells me that trailer and the Fleet Star might be in the way. Ow. Well, that told me one thing. Those power lines are too short. Of course, that's if this was real life. Next question. Okay. They probably use the same model of bridge. For each one of those you have to build. That's how smooth I thought this was going to be previously. I am going to have engine problems at this rate. Oh. Okay, that hill gave me simultaneously both more problems and less problems than what I thought it would. More problems in the fact that I did not think I would get stuck in the place I did. Less problems in the fact that it took me less time than what I thought it would take me. If I did get stuck. Really starting to wish I had that raised suspension, but sadly, it's locked. Alright. Awesome. Alright, so with that... 2, 3... I have to deliver another trailer, but we need rank 8. So... Harbor delivery is locked, and that is locked. Bricks, planks, and beams. We can do that later. Do that later. Are we no longer glitched? That's the last question. We are no longer glitched. So. We need this. That. Come on. This one is an engine upgrade. Looks like it's for all three of the Pacifics, the Elephant. These are basically your heavy of the heavy trucks, in theory, it looks like. So. It's not covered in this is... Normally I don't come down this way. I think you come up from here? Looks like it. Nice. We have ourselves some beams. Let's see. We probably need this one next. Oh. It is not the first time I've driven in here and gotten completely stuck. Details right there. Yep. So we're gonna do this job at the same time as that other watchtower. I am not being nice to this thing. Awesome. So it looks like you have to get a truck with a crane out here to get those crates out. Let me just double check. I do not see any upgrades on the side, so... There we go. Alright, that one is technically next. But it looks like we have a bridge out. So, that is the first of our bridges. So I'm just going to drive down to it. Activate the quest. And I will call it a night for me, because it is again late. Unless... it looks like... photo mode, we want free cam. So, we have a problem. We cannot cross this. Let's see. The scout can cross up here. At least it should be able to. That will be our best bet. Oh, the P16. That's what that one is. All right. Well, I'm going to say with that, have a good night. We had some challenges. Managed to save ourselves from a glitch. And got one of the contract tasks done. So, with that, I'm going to say good night.